Hi everybody and welcome back, or welcome if you're new here. I am Fem. I make knitting and crochet related video on this channel with a sprinkle of mental health because that's very important to me. Today is my second podcast. Yeah, so I did one first 2 weeks ago and I want to be doing it every 2 weeks or every other week, filming one. So I have some time to work on things and to show you some more progress. So yeah, this is my second. So I have a finished object, actually kind of a half finished, but you will see a little bit. I have some fun things I want to share and some things that I will be working on. We also do some mental health things in here in this podcast and some live updates or what I'm watching, reading, listening to. So if you're interested in that, keep on watching. I have my cup of tea again and I thought it would be fun. We have this Dutch company that makes tea bags but with a question on it. So I hope it's going to focus. It's a bit tiny, of course. Well, is this going to work? This is of course in Dutch, but I will translate it for you. It has a really hard time focusing, so it isn't focusing, but there's a question on here. And I thought it would be fun to start this one off with the question on here, so you can answer it too in the comments. The question is, which sunset stayed with you? So I'm gonna put this down, by the way, it's very heavy. Which sunset stayed with you? I'm a big sunset and sunrise lover, mostly sunsets because sunrise it could be really early. Now it's about 8 AM that the sun goes up. But I asked this question to my boyfriend, he's sitting in the other room, and we were immediately, we said the same thing. So I think a year ago we were a weekend away in New Zealand, Zealand if you want to translate it literally. It's in the Netherlands here, at the coast. And we had this beautiful hotel room where we had a beautiful view. I'm gonna put some pictures in here. I'll leave the picture of the sunrise to be honest, but we had such a beautiful sunset there. So it was really fun. We had the same thing in mind, so you can see it here. It was really beautiful. So if you have a sunset that stayed with you, let me know. I'm really curious to know which one it would be for you. By the way, I have my laptop here for some notes. As I already said, I can be a bit chaotic, so I can ramble a little bit. And if I have a lot of things to say, it can be jumbled here in my head. So some notes, so I won't be rambling too much. Hopefully. My finished object. If you saw my last podcast, you saw that I was working on a pair of socks, and I actually finished one, so that is really cool. These are the Love Heart socks. My camera has a bit of a hard time focusing today. The Love Heart socks from Devon with Love UK. You can see that this is the line where the colors change. It has some Colorwork in here, and stripes. Yeah, it's just very nice. It is made in Drops Noord. It is alpaca mostly. I think it's a mix of alpaca wool and a bit of nylon. So it's really soft. It's a little bit fluffy. I don't know if you can see it like this, but it has a bit of fluff. It's not like, yeah, you can see a little bit on the edges. Yeah, it's just really nice. I'm gonna talk a little bit about it. Yeah, what am I gonna do first? I'm gonna talk about it here in the finished objects. I also have it in my, I'm working on the other sock at the moment. I will show that in a little bit. I really like working on this. It was my first time doing color work. You can see that a little bit, for example, in this heart. I still have to learn a little bit, and it is a little bit tight to get over my heel, to be honest. So it's like this is the max. Yeah, about the max that it can stretch to, because some of the floats I made them a little bit too short. But yeah, oh well. For the rest, yeah, I really love the colors. The blue, the white, the red, they look really nice together. I made a mistake. I don't know if you can see. I asked in my stories on Instagram, like, oh my god, what should I do? Should I take it out or should I just leave it in because it gives some character? This is a mistake. as you can see here. So it is the rose, the white and the blue is like 3 rows of white, 6 rows of blue. And I forgot it, I guess, when I was like right here, because I did the color change from the red to the blue and then the white, and then I was like, oh, 3 rows, because this blue had to be 3 rows, so it hugs the cuff like this. So yeah, I thought, oh well, I would just keep it in, because it was like around here I think when it happened, and I was like, I don't really feel like taking like 25 plus rows out, because that was what it was at the moment. Yeah, I think it's quite funny, so I'm gonna do the other one the exact same. I also made a little mistake here. It was a little bit a while ago since I made some heels. You can see it. I did 2 rows, and I have been doing a top which I had to do like I think it was a bind off with working yarn in front or working yarn in back. So I did the purling with the working yarn in front, I think. And I was like, yeah, well, okay, I don't mind. So I just kept it in. It doesn't really, yeah, it looks a little bit different, but it's a heel. No one will see it, so I don't mind. So this is the first one. I also really love the detail in the toe. Which one shows it best? I think this one shows it best. I really love the thicker band here. There's it on both sides, of course. And what I also really like is this detail. So you do the decreases here, and it gives you a bit of an edge. And I think it looks really fun. It has it on both sides, of course. You can see here the edge. Yeah, I really like that actually. So I'm really pleasantly surprised. They are a tad bit short on me. So as in the length, I should have made them a little bit longer, but I hope I will be able to block it out. So that's my first finished object, my first sock. I've been working quite a bit on it. Oh yeah, I did the color work again. For the rest, I went in one sitting. The first part took me the longest, also the color work, because I did it again. And the feet went so fast. I think I've done from the whole feet and the cuff, I think I did that in 2 sittings, maybe 2 days. So this one took quite a bit longer. And I've been working on DPNs for the first time. And what I found that made this so much faster was that I alternated where the corner was. So instead of you know, when you have the corners, you pull your string quite tight because you don't want ladders, and it was really straining on my hands, and it took me quite a while to finish something or finish a row. And now I figured out it was way easier to just alternate the corners. So I just knit my row and then knit 2 more from the needle, next needle, before adding in my empty needle. I think I will make a video about my first experience with DPNs when I finish the second sock, and then I can also tell you about these tips and tricks that I have that really worked for me. So yeah, that was my finished sock. I'm gonna take a look if my tea is cooled down a little bit. I just poured it. It was really hot. Doable. I really love, I have no idea how it's called in or in English, I mean. It's this, I'm gonna search it up or look it up for you. I'm really loving this tea. We drank a whole packet of it in like a week. We never drink tea so fast. Even my boyfriend likes it. I'm translating now. It's called, in Dutch it's called sterrenmunt, so star mint if you translate it literally. I tried to translate it, but it didn't really work that well, to be honest. But it is tea with anise. We call it anise in Dutch, and licorice. So it has the really nice aftertaste of licorice. And I know a lot of people don't like licorice, but it is like the sweet version. It's not salty, of course, it's tea, but I'm really loving it. I've been drinking it loads, and I'm not a big tea drinker, to be honest. Okay, we had the finished object. Next, I want to talk about some wins or some news that I have, because it's going pretty well and I'm pretty proud of it. I wanted to share with you because you are part of this. This wouldn't work without you. So at first, the Facebook group. If you've watched my last 2 videos, I've talked about it a little bit. I'm gonna talk about it a little bit again, because I started a Facebook group. It is a private group, a free group, where we talk about knitting, crochet, and a little bit about mental health. We are still very much in the beginning because it's like I opened it a week and a half ago, and we have 25 people in the group already. That is so fun. I think it's we have a lot of really nice, really kind people in there. Yeah, so if you want to join, I have the link down here. You can become part of it. Talking is a little bit difficult sometimes. And it would be really fun. So, and you don't have to be like super active like every time, but it would be really fun if you like a little bit of other people what they're talking about, or share something yourself if you want to. You will see it yourself if you enter the group. So if you're interested, link is below. You can sign up completely for free. It will stay for free, and meet some new people and talk about your favorite crafts. So 25 people already. Yeah, really happy about it. I also reached over 400 people on Instagram. Okay, and disclaimer before, it is not about the numbers, but the numbers make it very visual that you are growing or progressing. So that is why I share them. It doesn't say that if you have below 400 followers on Instagram that your account is not good. Absolutely not. It's just something that I'm a bit proud of because I'm sharing this message, and yeah, those numbers just show that people are interested. So that is why I'm sharing this. But yeah, over 400 people on Instagram, and I think this is growing the largest on YouTube here. We have over 100 people. I was like, oh my god, what is happening? But when I am filming right now, I mean, there are 122 people even. I'm still, my last video has like 500 views right now. And I'm like still a little bit flabbergasted that my face has been seen 500 times. Maybe not 500 people, but has been seen 500 times, and also on television. So I can see on what device people are watching. Yeah, that's just still, I think when you're filming these things, I'm talking to you, of course. I'm imagining someone that is watching this, but really seeing that people are watching and enjoying, that is just a different level. That's just really fun. So thank you for watching. If you like these kinds of videos, if you like watching the videos that I make, like this video, subscribe. It really means a lot to me, and I think it's just really cool, and we can make our little corner on the internet here. So yeah, I wanted to share that with you because as you are on YouTube here, you are the ones that made that happen. 122 followers. Or subscribers, actually. YouTube is subscribers. I have a bit hard time talking. Again, I see that every video, but we know that by now. But I just wanted to share those things because, yeah, it's something that is going on in my life, and I'm quite happy about it. And I think it would be fun to share it with you. But yeah. Let's go on to the whips, because I have a few things that I'm working on. Nothing really, a lot of new things, to be honest. I finished that sock, of course, so I'm gonna show you how far I am with this second sock. And I also have a bit of a dilemma, or yeah, I already know the answer actually, but I will show you and you will understand what I mean. The second sock. As I did the first sock, the colorwork a little bit too tight. I wanted to make it a little bit more loose. So I did that, but it's now a little bit too loose. I will show you and you will understand what I mean. Okay, you can see here that the floats, mostly the floats of the blue, yeah, you can see it here really nicely, they are too big or too long, and some of the floats of the red one too. I made it a lot looser because I already did this one quite loose, but it wasn't loose enough still. So I thought, okay, do it a little bit different. I'll make this one a little bit looser even. But what I did is I mostly made the longest floats the loosest. That's how you say it, the most loose. And the red ones, so the shorter floats in this case, the red ones at that moment, they weren't the same tension. So what I tried to do is like pull the floats a little bit, look if I could adjust it. Then I pulled it on, and then this happened again because yeah, the blue ones are just look at here. Yeah, the blue ones are just longer than the red ones, so that is a bit of a shame. So I have to rip it out. Oh wait, I'm gonna show it to you next to each other, then you can really see it very clearly. Yeah, you can see it very clearly now. This is just nice and flat. This is not nice and flat. But this one went quite well. I did this in one sitting, like the ribbing, or did I? No, I did the ribbing in one sitting, and then I did like this part in one sitting. Yeah, I will just be pulling it out and starting the color work over again. But I think, or I'm absolutely sure I will have these finished next time. Don't hold me on it, but I think I will have those finished next time in next podcast. So that would be nice. Then I haven't been working on this a lot, but I pulled up a crochet project that I was working on a few months ago. I can show it to you here. This is how far I am. I did like 2 rows, I think, but I think I will finish it because, yeah, okay, I have this thing here. This is Drops Melody in seagrass or sea green. It is a really beautiful, soft, greenish, blue, turquoise color, kind of color. Okay, let's get back. Yeah. And this would be a cardigan. It is just a bottom-up cardigan. They call it the Bernadette cardigan. It's a very specific style. I have the video. I will link it down below. It's actually a free pattern of someone that I'm following. I've made this one before. I actually wore it in my last video. Oh, I haven't linked that one actually in there. And it was like the first crochet garment that I finished. As I also said in the video, I started a lot of things back then, but I didn't finish them because I didn't like it anymore or something. I started this too. As I said, I was like 2 rows down of this, and I didn't finish it because I was like, okay, it is getting so large, so big. This is like the bottom here, but it will be, yeah, how do you say it? This is like what goes around your hips, to make it easier. And I was like, I don't know if this is still really the style that I like at the moment. And I also try to be really conscious of what I make with the yarn. So I'm sure that I will use the yarn. But I have this laying around for months, and I couldn't find a pattern to make. Yeah, I couldn't find a pattern for this. I have some patterns on Drops, of course. So this is from Drops. They have a full pattern library with all 3 patterns, but I just wasn't in love with any of the patterns really. They don't have many patterns for the yeah, okay, they have some patterns for Drops Melody, but not as much as for some other yarns. And now I was like, I saw it laying again, and I was like, okay, and we're just gonna let it lay there, let it stay there, and then don't use it and wait until somehow a pattern comes up. Or am I just gonna finish this one and then at least have a nice cardigan? And even if I only wear them around the house, I'm like, really, okay, I need to make something with it that I'm gonna wear every day, and that's good, of course. But it's like, okay, I'm gonna wait to have something to make with it, and I've been waiting for months now. Or am I just going to make something with it and enjoy that part, that thing? So I was like, no, I'm just gonna make it. I haven't been crocheting much lately, so my wrists or I have 2 tennis elbows on 2 sides, so I have to take it easy sometimes, or a lot of the times. And I do notice that crocheting gives me a little bit more pain, so I have to be a little bit careful with this. And I won't finish this super fast, I think. The last one that I made was before I had those painful elbows. And I finished that one in a day and a half. That was really fast, to be honest. That was also not this kind of yarn. I cannot see the stitches that well on this yarn. Okay, as you can see here, it's very fluffy, so it's a little bit more difficult to see the stitches. The other one was like 2 strands of a non-fuzzy yarn, so it went really fast. I flung through it. I had like, I think not a full day. I think I worked like a full afternoon in the weekend on it and 2 evenings. So like, yeah, a day and a half in total, I think. But yeah, that is something that I'm working on. I will share the pattern below. She also has a written pattern of it. It's also free. So a video, a pattern. It's really simple, really easy. You work it completely flat, as you do with most crochet things, especially with a cardigan, of course. So you work like the back part. This is the back part. Then you work attached to that part 2 flaps that go on top. You know what? I'm gonna grab the cardigan because it just came out of the washing yesterday and I have it in the closet here. Okay, I'm gonna show it like this. So the back part, you work that first, then you start on these front panels and they're all loose. So this is attached later on. The front panels, and then you finish that part, and then you pick up stitches for the arms, and then work the arm flat, and you attach everything at the end together. So it's like a whole big flap, and you just flap it on. I don't know how to say this, and work it like that. But I didn't like how tiny or how small I made the arm part, or where I attached it, where I picked up stitch, so I will do a little bit more stitches. But this was really fun to make, really fast, really good. It is a very cheap yarn that I used for this one. This is better already. This is like acrylic or polyester, and that is alpaca mixed with, I think, a little bit of wool, a little bit polyester. So that is already better. Oh, I'm talking so fast. Okay, my camera stopped again. I wanted to say that I'm talking so fast that I'm a little bit out of breath again. But that is my crochet whip, to say it like that. Oh, it's getting colder quicker than normally. Then I have another whip that I'm working on that you already saw last week. This is the gift knit from my mom. So mom, if you're watching, you cannot see this anymore. We already discussed this, she knows this. So I'll put like a timestamp here, mom. So stop watching now and go to this timestamp, and then you can watch again. Are you gone? Yep. Wait just a little second. Okay, we can go on. So I am working on a gift knit for her. It is the Cumulus blouse by Petite Knit, and I'm working it in 2 strands of, I'm gonna put it aside, this brushed alpaca silk. As I already said in the last podcast, oh my god, the last podcast, is that she cannot handle any itchy fabrics. So it is originally made with drops mohair, or not drops, it is made with kid silk mohair. I think she uses sandnes garn. She uses it a lot. I won't be surprised if she used that for the pattern originally. I used this one because mohair is known, of course, to be a little bit itchy for some people. And yeah, as I said, she cannot handle any itch. So this is how far I am. I'm not super far. I haven't been working on it tons, just a little bit every now and then. Maybe like, there is now a 4-row repeat that I'm working on, so I mostly did like 4 rows and then put it aside. So that doesn't go that fast, of course. The reason for it, why I'm not working on it that fast, is because it's back and forth at the moment. As you can see here, it's a V-neck design, so it will be made in the round eventually. But I'm like, I think I'm still about 10 rows or more. I think even more. I think I might be 15 rows out, around 15 rows out for the end of the pattern. I've been really loving this, to be honest, or like how the fabric works up. It is a bit thicker because I'm working it two-stranded. I didn't want it to be too see-through. You can see that, you can see a little bit through it. But to be honest, it's mostly because of the light. When I'm looking at it right now, it will be fine for a winter sweater. Yeah, as I said, okay, I'm not going that fast because it's worked back and forth. So it's like a whole row with just knit stitch and increase, and then a whole row purl. And it goes quite slow, to be honest. You make, in the first row you make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 increases. So it works up quite a bit of fabric, or quite a bit of stitches. So yeah, the purling, it just takes quite a while. So I'm really excited when I can work in the round again, because I really like those knit stitches way better. I've also been having quite a lot of pain in my elbows the last 2 weeks, so purling is not the best for me at the moment. Yeah, it's just so soft. It gets makes quite a thick fabric, or quite a dense fabric. How do you say it? It's not dense, it's very flowy still, but I don't know, it's just really nice. I already had this when I made the gauge swatch. I was just really excited by it. A little bit more about it at the moment. As you can see, here are the raglan increases, and here too, this is for the sleeve, and you make increases for the v-neck. Yeah, I don't know what more to say about it. I'm just working on it a little bit every now and then. I want to gift it to her with Christmas, so I think it will be fine time-wise. I will be working on it a little bit more through the weeks, months. I have 2 months left, I think. But it's a good start. I think from the moment that I go into the round, that it will be going a bit faster, knowing myself. But yeah, that is my last whip at the moment. I'm really excited working on these pieces, to be honest. I also have some things in mind still what I want to be casting on. It isn't that different from last week. After these socks, after I have this pair finished, I want to start on the socks for my brother. I don't think I've talked that much about it. I can talk a lot about it a little bit more, but I also talked about it in my unboxing yarn video. I will link it here up here. I am going to make my own pattern, or not completely my own pattern, but my own Colorwork pattern. I will just look up a staple sock pattern. I have one from Woolenwine from Crystal Layer. I hope I say it correctly. That was the first pattern I used for, but I've never shown it on here, I think. But I made a sock, one sock, and after that I realized that I needed twisted, so I didn't finish that one. But she has a really nice simple, I think it's the simple sock pattern. I think it is even called like that. So I'll probably use that, make the leg a little bit longer, and I'm going to make a minion on it. So on 2 sides, very simple. I want to make a yellow sock with blue toes, blue heel, and like a blue cuff, I think. I think I'm gonna do it like that. And then I have this picture of just a really simple minion, so I can put it here. It's not like the full character, or how do you say it, not like a full puppet, but it is, as you can see, so the yellow background, so the leg will be yellow, and then I have the 2 eyes on there with the belt loop? No, just the belt on there. Yeah, I'm going to make it in this same yarn. So it is Drops Nord, and I think it'll have like 6 different colors, so that will be interesting. I already looked up videos, some more tips for Colorwork, because I'm not really looking forward to probably ripping it out 4 times, but it's okay. That is what happens when you start something new. But I want to have some tips for Colorwork, because now my tension is not great. And I have another Colorwork sock pattern that I want to start eventually, and a Colorwork sweater, the spot sweater, as I said last week. But it's not something that I'm really excited about at the moment. yeah, it's always when you learn something new. I heard this lately. Every time you learn something new, there is this learning curve, of course. You go down, or you are here at the moment. I don't know which one, if it's going to be twisted, but I'm doing it from left to right. So probably that way for you. No idea. You start like right here. You don't know what you're going to learn. You're still comfortable. All is good. All is good. But if you start learning, you go down because you're like, oh my god, I don't know how this works. I'm a little bit uncomfortable, maybe a little bit, yeah, I just don't know. That is okay. You have your learning pit, as she called it, and eventually you go up and you go to the same level or a level higher, of course. At the moment I'm here, or mostly in the pit, I think, and I'm just learning and just trying to climb up again. And that's okay. I have to remember myself that that is okay. That it's you cannot not always learn everything at once or just do it in one try and it's perfect. That's something I'm a bit perfectionistic, so that's something I sometimes struggle with. But I'm just now looking up videos, learning, looking up some techniques that might work. So to make it a little bit more easy on myself. I'm not going to be casting on the spot sweater soon at the moment. I first want to have my first pair of socks finished for myself. Then I want to start on the other pair of socks for my brother. And I'm working on the cumulus blouse, of course. I do have to say I would like to have a sweater for myself. I don't have a sweater. Okay, this is something that I was thinking about. All these people here on the internet, you know them probably, of not all of them, but okay, I think you understand what I'm going to say. A lot of knitters that are knitting quite a long time already, or even a year, and have been knitting like super intensely. They have so much fun stuff to show, and I'm a bit jealous, I think. I'm like, okay, but I also want to show what I'm making or what I made, but I don't have it yet. Because I haven't been knitting that long. I think other beginner knitters could maybe recognize themselves in this. I haven't been knitting that long, so I cannot have that full closet full of knitted stuff to show. So for example, I've mostly been wearing store-bought knitted stuff in these videos because I just like wearing them and I have them, of course, but oh, I would love to wear something that I made myself. And I can be a little bit tough on myself with that one. I was like, okay, I want to finish something. I want to have it done. I want to have to show it. I want to be able to show it in videos or photos. But I just have to remind myself, I'm not at that part yet. And it's okay, because I just started a few months ago. I've been crocheting a little bit longer, but mostly amigurumis. So also not a lot of clothing, only that cardigan. And it's okay. I just want to remember that to myself. So, for example, these socks, I almost have them finished, but you won't probably see them a lot because I won't be showing my feet in videos. So, it's something that I made, but won't be able to show when I'm wearing it. But that's okay. So, if this is something you are like struggling or thinking about, I think this is a good reminder. Also, something else I was thinking about is some designers, like, they pump out patterns, like every month a few patterns even. And I think it's really good to remember that you don't have to feel like you have to make everything. I'm in like a group chat on WhatsApp, and someone said this designer is pumping out patterns faster than I can knit, and I was like, yeah, that is exactly what is happening sometimes. And that is okay that they are pumping out patterns, but don't feel that you have to stay up to date with every pattern and every knitted thing, because there's too much to knit, to be honest. I think if you want to make every pattern in the world, you're never going to finish in a million years, probably, or maybe a million years. But you get the point. So that is something I was thinking about too. There can be, you can feel the pressure, especially when on Instagram you see all those beautiful patterns, and some people can knit very fast, which is super amazing for them, of course. But don't feel like you need to stay up that game or have to knit so fast. For example, I knit because it helps really for my mental health, and I find it really fun to do as a hobby. And okay, I do have that voice talking in my head sometimes, like, okay, you have to knit faster, you have to knit faster because I want to have something finished. And I'm like, no, that is not the reason why I knit. I knit because of the process. And of course it's fun to have something finished, but I have to remember myself, okay, why do I knit? What do I get out of the craft? It is really fun to have something finished, but it is more about the process than the finished product. Because if I only care about the finished product, for myself, I don't say that others do this, but for myself, I could, I should be buying hand knitted stuff from other people. Maybe. I don't have the money to do that. But, and also that's not what I want to do, so I want to knit myself and be mindful in the moment when I'm knitting. And I think this is a good reminder for some people maybe. Okay, it's okay not to have like 6 knitted cardigans in like a year, or knitted sweaters in a year. Could be possible, of course, absolutely. But it's okay if you have that, if you don't have that. I'm rambling at the moment, but I think you get my point. And without knowing, I already got into the mental health part, I think. I first did acquisitions on my list still, but I don't really have anything to show. I didn't buy anything new. As I said last video, last podcast, I had a lot of new yarn, but that is not something that is regular for me. That was just because of all those gift knits and things. It was really like a new starting point for new things. So no acquisitions. Yeah, only the patterns. So I bought the patterns for, no, that's not true. I already had those patterns. So no new acquisitions. And then I have mental health on my list, but we already talked a bit about it. But let's recap on last week. I talked about a exercise that I wanted to do, and maybe some of you did it too. Read it for a second what I wrote down here. Yeah. The exercise that I did was to write down everything I did in a week after the week was over, on a Sunday or Friday, something like that, when you stop working. I did this because I can be, as I already said, can be a bit perfectionistic. Wow, I'm talking a little bit too fast. And what happens is that I only see what I still need to do instead of what I already had done. So I tried it, and honestly it worked as a charm. It worked really well. I felt very positively motivated. So what I did at the end of the week, I wrote everything down, and when I was writing the things that I did, I wrote it down work-wise. So what I did for my project, for my minor. I've been working as like I'm in an entrepreneur group, so I'm just working on my own things individually also, and I have some coaching, but it's mostly me that is doing the work. So therefore I wanted to write everything down, see what I could improve on or what I already did. And I was writing it down and was like, wow, I did quite a lot actually, and I'm a bit proud. And that's not something I say that easily of myself. So that was really refreshing. I have a hard time with the letter R. But yeah, it really motivated me very positively, because what I'm also trying to do is find a way of working that works for me. As I already said, I'm working individually, so I have there's almost nothing in my week planned. Only my Wednesday, that's for my minor day for on campus or on the location, and the rest of it I can work myself on things. But since I still feel quite a bit of the burnout symptoms, I was going towards a burnout at the end of last year, I found it really hard to find a way of working for myself. So I can be really tough on myself, as I already said, that I had the feeling that I have to work 8 hours a day at least, because only if you work 8 hours a day, that's when you are productive, when you got something done. That is something that was in my head. But someone said, you have to let go the standard way of working, in my case, from my way of working. And I was like, okay, yeah, you're quite true actually with that. So I tried it, and what I also did is just look, okay, what do I want to do right now? Do I want to how do I feel mentally? Do I want to work at the moment, or do I feel okay, I need some more time and then I start working? So that is what I did. At some mornings that I didn't work, or some afternoons. And I know I'm a bit privileged saying this, of course, because I have the opportunity right now. I know that a lot of people who are just in their jobs, they don't have this possibility. But as I already said also last week, you can also use this in a different way. Maybe for the weekends. I did it work-wise, but you can also do it like house-wise or something. If you want to maybe keep your house really neat and tidy and very, very nicely, or maybe do it, maybe you want to hang out with your friends more. Write it down. Okay, I called that person on Monday, I met that person on Tuesday or Friday, or you can really adjust it to what works for you. I did it work-wise, you can do it every other way. But yeah, it really worked really nice. So I've been having quite a good few weeks. Last week, so the second week after filming, no, like, okay, the week that I was filming, I think I already started doing this, and then the week after, yeah. So last week I worked on a YouTube video, and it took me way longer than I wanted to or expected to. It took me like a few days, that video. It was a lot of work, like work before of it, work of filming, and then work after. I think I edited for 8 hours maybe. It was a lot. But I just tried to say to myself, okay, it's okay. You're working on something. Maybe you don't see like progress, as in that video doesn't bring me money, of course, for example. But it is, I'm working towards something, and that video is helping. So that is something that I try to keep in mind. Oh, I'm almost drinking my tea bag. But yeah, it was just something that I tried out and I really liked, and I'm going to try it out a little bit longer. I don't really have a new exercise. I will think of something new for next episode. But maybe if you haven't tried it yet, maybe you are convinced right now by me. So try it yourself. Write everything down you did in a week. If you have the feeling you don't really get a lot of things done, because you probably have more things done than you did expect of yourself. That's what I had. So yeah, that was the mental health part. Another thing in these videos that I like to do is the watching, listening and reading part. Or you can do it reading, listening, watching, you know what I mean. I will start with watching. We are big movies and series fans. I'm not going to share everything that I watched in the last 2 weeks, because I was also writing down or a little bit of the things that I watched and listened to, or then watched and the movies and series that we watched, and was like, okay, that's quite a lot, and I'm not going to share everything, because I could make a whole podcast about what I watched in 2 weeks, to be honest. But I have some fun things to share. Maybe some series that you like too. Some things for inspiration. I just really love it, so I thought it would be fun to incorporate in it, because I make these videos a bit more personal. And this is what is happening in my life personally. The first thing that we started watching was, I think, 2 days ago. It is a new show. It is on Amazon Prime, and it's called The Peripheral. If you like, okay, what is it really? It's like a mix of action, a mix of, it has a bit of a Inception kind of vibe. Not completely like the effects, but yeah, okay, it's really fun. It is a show about a girl and her family. Her brother, okay, start over again. This is going to be too rambly. It is a family. Their mother is sick. She has a terminal brain cancer, I think she had. Her brother is a gamer. He tests new games for money, so they can buy the medicine for her. Only his sister is the one that's mostly playing the games, because she is the better one. He gets a new game to test. It's very like new kind of technology, but they quickly realize that it's not what it seems, and that they are actually playing a kind of robot in the future. I'm not gonna say anything more. You have to see it for yourself. There are 2 episodes up now. I think it's every Friday in the Netherlands, for example, or Netherlands. We have the new episode on Friday. I think it's really cool. I'm like obsessed already. The main character, the female character, is the lead character. Chloe Grace Moretz. It's the actor that is playing the character. She does it really well. I really like her as an actress. But yeah, such a fun series. It goes really fast, dude. A lot of things happened already in the first episode. I think the episode was an hour long. I liked that too. Absolutely recommend it if you like action with a good story and a good female character. Yeah, I think that's a good explanation. There's something else I watched that you might find a bit funny. I'm going to share with you. When I was, I think, at primary school, so quite some years ago, I think it was to the middle of the end of primary school, and high school I didn't watch it anymore. I watched Winx Club. I think most people of my age, I don't know how it's worldwide. I know in our country, or my country, it was very popular. I think I had like a lunchbox with the characters on it. And they made a live action show of it. I think last year was the first season, and season 2 came out, and I watched it in like a few days. I thought it was so fun. It is a bit, like, as I said, I watched it a little bit when I was in primary school. Mostly towards the ending. I think that's when it came, it released here in the Netherlands. I didn't watch I think there are 8 seasons. I looked it up yesterday. I didn't watch everything. I think I watched maybe season 1 and 2, and then it was done for me already. Then it was more for the younger generation. But I'm really liking this series. It's a bit, it's about the younger generation at the moment. So they are like, I think 18 or 17 or something. But I think it's so fun, to be honest. So if you don't know what Winx Club is, it is about a group of girls. They have powers, so they have magic. They go to a school where they learn how to use their powers and everything. And a lot of things happen there. Yeah, that's really the best thing to say it. Yeah, I think it's really fun. I think it's pretty well done. I don't remember what happened all those years back, but I think it probably aligns with the story. I have no idea, to be honest. But it's just a fun in-between series to watch in a few days, as I said. So yeah, that was that series. We are still watching House of the Dragon. We tried to watch the new episode, but for us it's on HBO Max, and that application, we tried to stream it to my Chromecast. It is doing so horribly. It is lagging. So we watched like, I think 10 minutes. So I don't really have a lot to say about it. We still have to watch the episode. If you go to reading, I finished The Silent Patient. I only had like 40 pages to go, I think, when I talked about it last episode. As I already said in that episode, I wasn't like blown away by the book. However, the ending made it. Yeah, it didn't make the whole book, but it was very, very good. I didn't expect it. Most of the times I expect endings or like plot twists or everything, but I really didn't expect it. I'm not going to say much more about it because I don't want to. I really don't like to spoiler these things. It didn't make the whole book for me. It's still like a 3, maybe 4-star book for me on Goodreads, but okay, the ending was really good. It was really good. I started in Queen of Shadows. I'm reading the Throne of Glass series. I started this summer on vacation, and I am now at Queen of Shadows. I think that's the one that I'm reading. I have my e-reader on my nightstand. I already started in it before. A few other books that I read. Wasn't completely sucked in yet. I think I read like 20 or 40 pages, and now I just started from that part. I think I'm now at page 100. I haven't been reading tons, honestly. I like it. I'm curious to what's going to happen. I think it's really fun. I really like the series. It's by Sarah J Maas, if you don't know. She also did A Court of Thorns and Roses, this series Akatar. Oh no, that's Akatar is the from the first book, but Arco, yeah. I don't know what the full book series is called at once, but A Court of Thorns and Roses is really, really good. I loved it. I think there are still books coming. I can't wait for those. So yeah, I've been reading that one. I also got a new subscription on Storytel. I don't know if that's something that you know. It is a subscription service where you can listen to storybooks. Is that how you call it? Audiobooks. Audiobooks, that's what you call it. I sometimes get the subscriptions that you have like 30 days for free or like 2 months for 10 euros. And now they had a Halloween action or Halloween discount for 2 months for 2 euros. So that was really fun. I listen to those when I'm traveling or when I'm maybe doing something in the house or working when I can still have something else on. Yeah, I haven't started a new book there yet. Most of the times when I have that subscription, I had it like a month ago, I think. Still, I was listening to something and reading something else, not at the same time, but next to each other. So I sometimes read in my e-reader, and I also listened at other times to a book. So I'm going to look at what kind of book I want to listen to. I go through it quite easily, quite quickly. I think I did a book in 2 weeks or something about that time. So I probably will have something finished maybe when I talk to you next time, or just listening something. Yeah. Then listening. So I will probably be listening to some books. But last time I talked about that I was listening to Beyonce Renaissance, her album. I still am. I still am obsessed, and I have now... Okay, my favorite songs are Plastic Off the Sofa and Virtuous Groove. Those are my faves. Still love it, honestly. I have like those things. I had the same with Harry Styles this year. Honestly, I never was a Harry Styles fan. I never been a One Direction fan. I was like the Justin Bieber phase. I was a little bit before. I was like absolute Justin Bieber fan. Not anymore really, but I still know a lot of the songs from that time when he was just getting popular. But at the same with Harry Styles, I listened to an album. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool actually. Never listened to it, and I'm like also obsessed. We tried to get tickets, but it was sold out in like 2 minutes or something. I was wrecked by it, but maybe next time. But now I have a bit of the same with Beyonce. I've listened to Beyonce from when I was young to now, but in phases. This is a new Beyonce phase, I think. Something else that I've been seeing going around is Taylor Swift. Also, never really listened to Taylor Swift. Never been a Swiftie. How they say it. But I've been hearing a lot about it, and I listened to Karma yesterday, and I thought it was a really cool song. So maybe I will try it too. I don't know if you have any recommendations for the new album. Which song do you like best? I know it's really popular at the moment. Probably a few of you might have listened to it. I think I just might see what the hype is all about. Just listen to it, and probably will come back to you next time. If I didn't listen to it, I probably wasn't motivated enough, I think. We will see what will happen. Podcasts. I also have been listening to a few podcasts. I've been listening to the Community Experience. As I'm building the group, I just want to learn a little bit about it. I think it's really fun. They talk about community building with different guests also, and just what works for communities. I think that was the only podcast I've been listening to. Yeah, there's a new podcast, I think by... Oh, I don't remember what it's called. I think it was a new podcast with someone that I'm following, Amy Small from Nicola. She was a guest in a podcast that I still want to listen to. I have it in my list, but I don't remember what it's called again. I'm also interested in that one. She was one of the first businesses or first people that I found when I started knitting, and really interested in it. Really looking up to it, to be honest. Really checked her out, Nicola. She do a lot of fun stuff. They also have a fall knit along coming. I think they start in a week or something. So yeah. Then some life updates. My boyfriend is a bit sick. He has DC. We're not gonna say too much because I don't know how YouTube reacts on it. But yeah, he got sick on Saturday. He got a very bad headache, and we were walking in the forest because he was like, okay, I do like to get out, get some fresh air, maybe it helps. But when we get home, he slept all day. And on Sunday, my mom was like, okay, maybe you should get him tested because they had the same a few weeks ago. And I was like, oh yeah, of course, let's test him. And it was the C, the big C, immediately. But he's feeling quite well now. I must say, I'm getting a headache. So I was like, okay, I want to record this video, but I'm not sure how the rest of the day is going. We are now a few days in. He got sick on Saturday. It is now Tuesday. I'm filming this on Tuesday. Probably will release this on Thursday or upload it on Thursday. So I'm not sure how I'm going to feel, but I already had it in the end of June, beginning of July. I was on a press trip for my internship to Wales. Day 2 of the 7 days that I would be there, I got sick. I got it. So that was the first time. So I hope I still have enough antibodies in my body to not get sick. But my headache is getting worse. So we will see. Let's hope it didn't work, because I have another video that I actually want to film, a crochet patterns video. So let's hope I don't get sick. And wow, I think we're through it. That was it. Talked about a lot of things. A lot of things that, some wins, some what I'm working on, some future projects, no acquisitions, some mental health, a lot of everything. As I already said in the beginning, if you like this kind of videos, click the like button below. Follow me here, because I will be posting these kinds of videos every other week with some other things in between. I'm planning on doing 2 videos this week. I hope I don't get sick, and if I don't, I hope I will get it done. I think I will, but normally I upload once a week, and maybe 2 times every now and then. So if you liked it, click the link, follow me here, and I will see you next time. Bye creators!